Hello, this is Mrs. Rice, and I am here on the World Wide Web to give you my group conferences speech so that if you didn't attend, you could see the short version of what I'm going to say at school. I am so excited to have your child this year at school, or if the kids are watching, I'm excited to have you. And so I want to talk about some of the important things in my class. Now, with me, I've taught for 20 years, and so I have a lot of things, books, papers, everything, and puppets. Yeah, you'll have some visits from some puppets, and I have a secretary that's a ladybug, and you have to give all of your notes to Lady. And I have another assistant secretary that is a squirrel, and you will have to give all of your papers to Grayson the squirrel. Sometimes other puppets show up, they'll chat for a little bit, and you'll see him again. So I have a list up here that you can't see that I'm going to talk from. I'm going to try to make it short. If you didn't show up at conference, I will send home a yellow note that has all the most important information on it. Our schedule will also be on that yellow note. There's our schedule right there. As you'll notice, it lasts the whole day. Yeah. And we have specials in the morning and recess in the afternoon for 30 minutes. Now, if you are going to bring recess treats, make sure, or recess treats, keep it in your bag, but if you're going to bring birthday snacks, they need to be here before recess because I do all the birthday parties at recess time. So if you want to bring cookies or something, they need to be here before that recess time, and I believe it's 1:30 this year. Fish folder. Kids are going to say fish folder. You're going to hear me saying fish folder, and I'm going to be typing fish folder. That just means family involvement starts here. And please, parents, check the fish folder each night because I'll be sending them important notes, important papers, graded papers. Anything that needs to go home will go home in the fish folder. I don't usually send graded papers home throughout the week. I'll pick one day a week and send home a chunk. So you've got to be used to taking out the papers because I've had kids before who end up having probably 80 to 100 papers in their fish folder because they aren't emptying it. So make sure fish folder empty is important. Now, if you have notes to send me, send them in the fish folder. Your child is responsible for giving the note or the money to my secretary, the ladybug, named Lady. So fish folder is going to be a connection from home to school. Also in the fish folder is the child's behavior log. Now, the behavior log, you're going to color their behavior. Blue is fantastic. Green is really good. Yellow, they've had a warning. Red, they've had more than one behavior challenge during the day. And purple, it was a really tough day, and I probably emailed or called you at that point in time. So they will also be logging their behavior, and on their behavior log, they write down their AR percentage. So if you check their behavior log, which is on the AR side, of the fish folder, you will notice that if there's no percentages, your child either isn't writing their AR percentages down and checking with me, or they haven't taken any tests. So that's when we maybe need to get in touch with each other and find a plan to help your child take more AR tests so they can move that reading level straight on up. SMART goals. Every single classroom at Platte County has SMART goals this year. And those are what we believe are the most important goals for the kids to achieve in reading and math. And I know in reading, we're doing conventions, which is spelling and punctuation and grammar all rolled into one, main idea and inferencing. Making predictions and drawing conclusions. So those are some of our big SMART goals in reading and math. I know it is multiplication fluency, which is a big deal. If they don't practice at home, they will not have the multiplication fluency like they need by the end of the year. Multiplication fluency, we do a geometry unit for a SMART goal. We also do a graphing unit that is really detailed, and we will do an estimating sums and differences SMART goals unit. So, and this will be worked on during Pirate Time, which is at 9:10 in the morning, and your child knows all about Pirate Time. They go to different teachers' depending on their level. So it ends up everybody gets what they need. Everybody gets what they need. They get what they need. I should probably have the duck fly again because I just messed up. But your AR goals for third grade are 8 points a month, unless it's a very short month, and then we'll probably take the goal down to 7 or 6 points a month. A point would be a very small chapter book, or like about a 60, 70 page chapter book is a point, or 2 picture books is a point. I've had years where kids read tons of chapter books and have points just up into the sky, and I've had other years where kids love picture books and they continue to make their goals getting picture books. 8 points is what they have to have. Your child can set their goal higher than that if they wish to, and most students usually do. They also have to be reading at a 90% and testing at a 90%. So if they read it on the bus and didn't read it again and took a test the next day, they're probably not going to get a 90%. So you want to set up a reading time at home with your child, so you can ask them some questions about the book. So it's usually hard to get things going in August and September if they haven't read over the summer, but we'll start going to the library early on and testing in late August. So get ready for some AR fun. And if students make their goals 8 points at 90%, we do have an AR rewards party at the end of September, October. We do it at the end of every full month. So sometimes it's an extra recess, sometimes it's a game party, sometimes it is a movie when it's really cold out, like we do the movie at Christmas. So these are all for kids who make their goals in AR. If they don't make their goal, they will be reading during the rewards party, which is fair. Let's see, weekend journals. And I have an example of a weekend journal. This is the other homework besides AR. It is, I borrowed this. I will be returning it to my friend Luke. Kids are assigned a topic weekly, and I will go over it very seriously in the classroom on Friday, talk about it, brainstorm about it, and show examples that students in previous years have written for their weekend journal. And then your child has Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, it is due. If students get their journal in and it is done quality, if there's quality work by Wednesday, there is a treat or a little prize, because it's tough to grade all of these journals on Thursday and Friday. So if they can get it in by Wednesday, that's the goal. Now, I know journal is probably one of the hardest things for kids to do, but it's getting them to write more, work on sentence structure, work on paragraph structure, and it's only an 8-sentence journal. But that doesn't mean that they should write it on the bus or right before they go to school on Thursday. The kids who have been really successful with this, and I know that there are a lot of parents who have joined in on the process. It allows you to talk to your child. What's the journal entry? Okay, well, let's dig deep in your memories. I mean, it really gives you a reason to chat with your kid about things they remember, things they feel are important, and then help them get thoughts on paper, which is really good one-on-one time for the kid, which I'll conference with everybody, but I got 22, 23 kids. I need to move around the room. So this is when kids can get one-on-one with the writing process at home. And it's once a week, it's 8 sentences. And I will have some helpful hints from parents in the past who have gotten their kids to really do some great work in the weekend journal. So look for that on the website. Now, my newsletter that I'll be sending home isn't fancy. Again, I'm not a fancy person. I'm more of an idea person. I'm more of a personality person, and I have puppets. So my newsletter is an email, because I don't want to waste time decorating on a newsletter. So you'll get an email from me, and it'll be called like 3 most important things this week. That's how I do it. And so I'll tell you what we're studying. I'll tell you if there's any important event coming up, what your kids need, and I'll probably give you a website or 2 to go to if you want some practice on math or in communication arts over the course of the week. And it's usually a website that we've worked on in class, so your child will know how to run it and it's been approved by the teacher. Now, speaking about computer, we, in the third grade, are going to be using the computer lab cart. We're going to have one assigned to all the third grade teachers, which means we're going to be out of the computer lab. But this is great because the kids, we really have a great way to work the computer lab. I work across the hall with Amy Cordova, and we do a lot of partner computer lab work where they're working on pre-learning math concepts or grammar concepts, and then reviewing math and or grammar concepts in the computer lab. We work on blogging, we work on story writing. We have a great time with the computer cart. So this year we'll be able to have 2 lab times at least on the computer cart, and I'm really excited about that. We also do a lot of extra activities in my particular class. I work closely with the gal across the hall, Mrs. Cordova. We will have a measurement fair, and I need parents to volunteer to help run centers at the measurement fair. It's like an in-school field trip about measurement. I can't think of things more exciting than that. The Ecosystem Extravaganza, which is it's a musical, basically. It's a variety show with some plays and some rhymes and some songs. We do that during the school day. And then we have a poetry slam night, which is of an evening in the spring, and the kids will showcase their own poetry. So those are just 3 events on top of our field trip, which lately has been to Royal Zoology, which is Royal Stadium. Not when the Royals are playing a game, but in the winter we go, and they have a really great curriculum at the Royal Stadium for field trips. Go figure. At the end of the day, I will have a team time. Again, I work closely with the gal across the hall, Amy Cordova, and we'll do team time, and we will work on some science concepts, some math concepts, some writing concepts, grammar concepts. We do a lot of levels, so sometimes she'll take a group that's ready to move on farther, and then I will take a reteach group. So we are really working to meet your child where they are and give them what they need. So if your child is ever talking about team time, or if I mention team time, that is when Mrs. Cordova and I are working on concepts together. That's how we practice for the Ecosystem Extravaganza, and we work our measurements and our poetry. It's a lot of fun, and I find a lot of value in working with another great teacher at Segrist. My school website will be on that yellow piece of paper that your child will get with like the highlights of this speech, which really you're getting right now. So keep the paper, frame it someplace, put it up in the house. It will also have links to my YouTube website, because Mrs. Rice not only loves puppets, but she loves to sing about math. And so my big plan is to get the kids to pre-learn math concepts, get them to memory by music, and sometimes it really helps kids to be singing those songs at home. And I just made a whole bunch of new YouTube videos where I am singing about different groups of math concepts that take maybe 3 or 4 minutes that students can watch at home every night, so they will have these concepts put to memory. And finally, spelling tests are on Fridays, so just be ready for that. Sometimes my spelling tests aren't just lists of words. Sometimes I'll put them into a couple of sentences. I will be checking conventions, which are grammar and punctuation, in a spelling test. So I might put a few words in a few sentences, and that's how your child is going to get their conventions grade at times during the year for the grade card. So be aware, if you see a spelling test coming home, they may get a score for spelling and a score for convention. And sometimes it's like circle the correctly spelled word. I do all kinds of crazy spelling tests, but they are Friday. And I usually send home lists, like 3 lists at a time, because I can forget things at the end of the day. And if you have 3 weeks of spelling, you can put them on a magnet, put them on the refrigerator, and you just got that. So thanks a lot for listening. And I could not get my hand in this puppet, so he is just going to say goodbye without his mouth moving.
Goodbye there. Thanks for being a pirate in Mrs. Rice's room. Ha!
You knew it was me. Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.